All right, all right. What's going on, people? How we doing? How we doing? It is about what 4:21. 4:21. Yeah. I think that was the day that Prince walked off and everything. I think so. I think I've read something correctly. He might be back or something like that. I guess he testified in some type of court with P Diddy or something like that. Not really paying too much attention, but that's the time anyway. That's the time. On a Sunday afternoon, popping in a little bit. Uh, Soaked in a lot today. We soaked in quite a bit today, and I do want to go ahead and tip my hat to everybody and everybody that did go ahead and chip in and or comply to adhere the contracts. Okay. um, After listening to quite a few, it put me in a solemn type of a mindset or pensiveness, thinking. You know, not really too in extreme in any direction, but in a spiral type of circle, in which encompass quite a big gap of time and everything. And wow, I mean, the pinpoint of it, I guess even lending, I'm gonna go with lending and leading off of, I guess I'm borrowing from. There we go, lending. She's lending me things. He's lending me things. 222 on the clock. Capricorn lending me things. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing really belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really belongs to us. It's just lent to us and everything. And when we come to realize these types of things, we are able to plausibly make a little bit better choices, changes, and chances at these different choices that might come our way. Or we might be fool enough to go ahead and try and create, no, but to create them. Okay? And I'm not talking about the past tense of eating the crea and the past tense of eating the crea, which is create. You know what I'm saying? These carnivalistic Carnegie Hall Eve 32, what was it, 320 on the clock, Eve and Isha and Ishites. You know, I guess who was that today? Coffee lady. My my God is my God. My God wins. My God wins. Coffee lady. Matter of fact, she reminded me too of my queen's eye. She's got the coffee up there. The coffee up there, and surprised she didn't, you know, uh, give a strong shout out to Starbucks and everything. You know what I mean? You know, everything, all the coffee beans go to Ethiopia anyway. You know what I'm saying? But hey, to each his own. To each his own. To each his own. They can have as much crunch or snickerdoodles however they want. It's it's quite amusing. I'm not gonna lie, quite amusing. And so yeah, it brought me back in. But matter of fact, that was a Prost. To what's his name? Chiron intuition. I run intuition. now, now since he didn't had to go since he got his check, he can go ahead and get him a you know maybe a shitload of ice cream then. maybe some Snickers. Oh shit. it was that was the amazingly amusing part today, and more on the pensive direct thinking, and it's not all over the place. It was actually pretty straight to the point, like straight to Aldebaran, you know what I'm saying? It was just straight to bar or to veer at first. Al just took over every damn thing, or tried to, Al on one end and then An on the other, you know what I'm saying? Al, which is La, and that of An, 114 on the other end. They just circled around the bar and took it over, or tried to take it over, but just so long we got the motherfucking bullseye, that's the only thing that counts. That's shooting the bull straight in the motherfucking eye because of the bullshit, okay? Of the bullshit. And that's going to make them really shit, okay? Or her, I should say. Let's not even talk about the, that's, I was tripping. Let's not even talk about the red heifer, okay? Not talk about the cow, the cow who jumped over the moon. See, people, and you can go ahead and check the verification on this, all right? I've been saying this for a long time, saying this for a long time. And even when I came into her vernacular eyesight to even converse on whatever, my first, like I said, I've been saying this for a long time, and that is vroom vroom past the moon. Vroom vroom past the moon. Now, why do you think De Vere was saying that? Why do you think Bo was saying that? Why do you think, I don't know, I guess you might call me a hoe or some shit. I don't know. Bo-ho was saying some shit like that. Or dumbass Bo. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think I was saying that? Because we all know that along with the Snickers and the shitload of ice cream that one can buy now, that along with that shit load of ice cream, that noom means piss. So when people are digging, hey, people dig it, I can dig it, you can dig it, we can dig it. I can't dig it. Not me, homie. Not me. No. How the E40 say? Poodle in my blood? No. But again, to each his own. I'm just, just trying to lay down and get back up, okay? And get back up. But on with as Lynn said, the show must go on, right? And it's been a minute too. Lynn is cool. Lynn is cool. And Tarot Doc, she cool. Austin, awesome Austin. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty cool. There's a lot of people that's pretty cool, And like I said, to each his own. It's just when people come, with a sickle, and machete and shit, at a motherfucker, act like they're gonna harvest something, whether they're getting kibbles and bits right now, and or / what, hey, more power to you. 2200 on the clock, and that actually brings me to the subject matter. Like I was saying, I was lending or borrowing from, because I really do know now that this is. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a motherfucking collector. People just love to collect, but what it is reflective and everything, because you really get to see whether you want to, they want to go ahead and say, or you want to go ahead and say yourself inside of other people, or that they think they are collecting, bones or cheddar or chips or, however they put it together in their vernacular or their vocabulary. Okay. Uh, then that's up to them. I'm not really tripping on it. I'm not really tripping on it here. Left and right, 11:04 on the clock. Okay, 11:04. Yeah, that's right. And so the spiral that Mami Wata took me in today, it was deep. It was deep, and it encompassed like all of these entities that were like different, and different. How the patterns, what I'm saying, the different waves. Like the different ice walls. The different ice walls that surround us that we're in the middle of right now. You know, and some of the ice walls that we went back into, okay, is that of the past, and the furthest back of that past and everything was, believe it or not, ends up back in Florida, like, and Lori, okay, I'm going to go Lori first before I say Florida and all that shit, okay. I'm going to say Lori first, because it really started, back with Lori Dubois. Okay, they say, she said she's not related to the Dubois, W.E.B. Dubois, but like I said, I looked at the grandson. He looked just like W.E. Dubois, you know. And at that time, we're all young again. 15, 16. She might have been even 14. She might have been 14. I think the Dansby, he was 18. He was older, and we, being young, everybody young, dumb, full of cum, and we all uh, we basically both go inside of Lori. You know, at that point in time, one of the little things they was calling Lori's, or at that time, was Hoary Lori. You know what I'm saying? And but we was hoes too, bow to hoe. Okay, straight up. Okay, okay. So it was no. We just young, dumb, full of cum. All right, we look at it, and those were the first times where my feelings were getting twisted and everything, as far as to equate what I was doing, what was going on, and all kinds of different things. I was about 16 at the time, and so, like I said, both of us went to go visit over there to her house, and her auntie was still alive at the time, Tracy Dubois, which ends up being Rena's husband. Which she didn't disclose that she was gay, that she was bisexual. And I saw a lot of pain inside, of all of them when I did first meet him, when I first got out of the pen, when I took me to the birthday party on the Lompoc prison. That's where they all worked at. At least Tracy did. Okay, and this is where Rena took me up there and showed me her party, and got to see everybody again. And you saw, I mean, that was the first time saw Lori again since I was like 16 or some shit. And she had the same. I mean, I have to say now, I wasn't looking at it then, but I have to say it now, but it was about the same plastic smile. You know what I'm saying? All of them. I was surprised because Tracy was fat as a house, big as a house, big as a house. Lori was, I kept her weight down. Tracy's big as a house. Uh, and so I come to find out, I come to see all these things, as I sit back and, like I say, go back through these ice walls right now, And what ended up happening again was Lori, she ends up getting pregnant from where we came. We went over there a couple of times with her 1611 o'clock. That's hand on the Bible, 1611. And she ends up being pregnant. So they end up terminating the baby, having an abortion. Now, I'm not sure it was just after or probably before because I never saw her mother and her father, you know, and they supposedly had got killed inside of an accident, car accident, and so all those things were running through my mind too, as I had recalled them and everything, and so I flash forward to, I guess they were at some type of vacation. It might have been Puerto Rico. I think it might have been somewhere. I don't know. And they had the little girl take a picture. She had adopted a little girl. She's from the same town of Palmdale that Linda is. You know, Palmdale. You know what I'm saying? Beating palms. A lot of witches, just like a lot of hexes, a lot of sexes, sexagrams. You know what I mean? And so, what happens is the little girl takes a picture of him. They cut an eye out. They cut the left eye out and everything. And, both of them. And so I bring this to Rena's attention, and she blows it off. She says, "It wasn't like that." Okay. And so, she said, I don't know. Anyway, so we left that one alone. Uh, Second thing about Florida. Florida. Okay, so I came in, went over there, and this right here is going to bring in. So I gave you and brought in Moon. I mean, Lori at that time. Now I'm bringing it back to Moon again. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Jumped over to Moon. There's all kinds of reasons why, but it's been saying this for a long time. Okay, so this time right here, we're actually going to go back even further to Deutschland, to Germany and everything. Because the moon is what gives what light at night to what the world, right? So the world in Arabia is a girl's name, and that's Dunya. Dunya, okay? So Dunya, I had met over in Germany, in Deutschland, and she was part of the whole scheme too, especially when I left out of the house with Anne, or Anne, regular ass Anne. I ain't gonna give her ain't nothing special. I mean, she has the same disease that everybody else has with them right now. So there's no reason to put there's no Anne. She's just a straight motherfucking Anne. Okay, Annie, that we don't wear no panties, but she does put, what do you call it, toilet paper between her lips and everything to go ahead and stop the. I guess if it leaks, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people might do that in general sense. just for the secretion, or whatever, and stop it from not getting stained the panties. But she does it, you know, been doing it for a while, I guess, ever since she caught that shit, you know. And so over there, when I left the house over there, and then at that point in time too, it was so crazy because it was a Valentine's Day. It's crazy how Valentine's Day hit all the time too. It was Valentine's Day, and when Valentine's Day hit over there, I was actually out the house I moved on out. I got my own place in Nuremberg, and but I did run into, and these people were sent too. These 7 sisters from Kenya. Okay, 7 sisters from Kenya had 2 hair salons and shit. You know what I'm saying? I think I told this story once before. Came and sent the brother down to go ahead and pick me up. The whole family just loved me like a mother, love me, love me, love me, love me, you know. And even on happened to be a what do you call it? A Valentine's night in which, I was thinking about even reconciling back and stuff with Anne, and so I went and picked her up and everything. And while we're driving, the other girl, called. She lived 2 hours away and everything. The sister from Kenya. You know what I'm saying? She called and I said, hey, I'm told her, hey, I'm with my wife right now, and so she could hear on the speaker and everything. So Anne got a little bit pissed off and everything, and so she jumped out of the car, And but at that point, prior to that, we had already just stopped in, and matter of fact, I went and bought a little record player. Saw the other day so I could listen to this music and everything, and that it had made over there. I hadn't listened to it. One side, the house music side is scratched up and everything, but the radio version was still playable and everything. So I got to listen to that. And so again, I was low on cash, but I still had bought a car, you know, got my license over there, which is like $1,200. And she wanted me to go ahead and pay $1,200 and get the fucking license to her, for her to go use the car and keep my. Oh man, that would have been stupid. But I'm not stupid. That's one thing I'm not. Okay, I might be dumb. I might even play dumber. But stupid, nah. Cause stupid is what stupid does. You know what I'm saying? That's what Forrest Gump said, right? So, anyways, so the homies that was kicking it with the time said, "Hey man, that's all right. Hey, here's some keys to his shop and everything, and down in Nuremberg, Radagasa. Take her in there and get her whatever she wants to put on and everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? And here, go over to Luigi's over here. He's got a restaurant and shit. Fucking and eat it whatever the fuck you want. All right." And so I didn't take her over there to go grab no clothes and everything. We're just moving. It was taking too long and the whole process and everything. She was dressing up, but we did go ahead over to Luigi's. I think it was called Luigi's, and fucking and we sat down for the Valentine's Day dinner. You know what I'm saying? After that is when I received a phone call, and then she jumped out. You know what I'm saying? And so during this time, also, that's when I had met Dunya. So the Kenyan women were sent in, okay, to help because I was outside the house. Now, Arabia was the people from Arabia, and I was kicking it with fucking what's her name, Aisha. I was kicking it with Aisha with when we was rolling with Rico, Alicat, and Greg. With Rico anyway. He popped in with Alicat and Greg every once in a while. They had 3 music studios, and fucking and so this is where I met Dunya at. Now Dunya, again, they had that meth stuff, and I don't fuck with it, but everybody else did, so that was the hookup thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the meaning of Dunya over there. Now back to Flo Rida. Okay, so they pulled her in. Now that was like 2001, 2003. I left there. We're talking 2019, 2020, 2021, no 21, going on 22, between that summer right there, or during that time right there. They called her back in. So she went back she's changed from from Dunya, and then she went to Luna, which means moon. See how everybody just, we correlate, it's a reflection and shit, you know what I'm saying? So now she's trying to tell me that her name is not Dunya, her name is Luna. Okay. I'm like, wow. So the whole thing was to go ahead. She probably had some because she was telling the truth. She was out there hoeing on the street, pretty much. So to make their money. This was Steven or whatever his fucking name was, met over in Florida. He was the first one to go ahead on the internet to set up. We made a couple of videos, and he wanted me to go ahead and just keep on giving him shit like you guys doing right now in a general sense. You know what I'm saying? But we got a plethora of shit. This right here is all surface. Cause only you can make you happy. Right? It's all surface shit. Silver surfer shit. You know? And so what happens is she shows up there in Florida, and I kid you not, even when I went down and I didn't have sex, but I did go ahead and feel her down there, and that was the same wetness that she was back in 2003. Okay? So it didn't happen. Okay, it didn't happen. So if they was in trying to give me some disease at that point in time, it didn't fucking happen. And then they get so mad, it's like, so she's on the other end, and they call Rena and they tell Rena that, hey, like it's gonna affect me to some degree to, you know, ah, you know, need to freak out that they tell, this is the same thing that Trevor did. He goes and calls and tells again too. Trevor is a motherfucker too, because what Trevor was doing, he was giving up everybody else's shit over there. You know, uh, the old brother with fucking the do the crypto and shit. They had the bank and everything. He said he got his wife. His wife got a girlfriend, got another wife too. He got two. You know what I'm saying? B, and pretty much what he was saying that he was jealous because he couldn't have. Okay, I don't think that's the first thing, but he was just jealous to go ahead and throw smoke bombs different places, what have you not. I don't give a fuck if the motherfucker had 20 motherfucking damn wives. I mean, motherfucker, that's on them. But this is the type of shit that I'm saying. They come up with like all kinds of like stupid bullshit. Anyway, so fucking all of that right there, and that's why again back to the thing of vroom vroom past the moon. And you can check the job. You can check many jobs for many years. I've always said that past the moon. Okay, and so when it now, and I'm talking about in a general sense now, in the of in the overall thing of women in a general sense. In a general sense. Not every single one. I'm not saying good, bad, or ugly. I'm just saying in a general sense. So don't get no panties in a bunch if you wear fucking panties. I'm saying if you don't, fucking, hey, that's your thing. So, and even if you're male and wear panties, hey, don't get them in a bunch. That's your thing. I'm not being tripping, right? So, uh, basically, what happens is we get back here, and again, we see all of the stuff. I'm going to circle back into Mami Wada right now. Mami Wada, and in the last two, the last one I want to go into more so into as to uh, uh, because it was spoken to Verenia, Rachel Oliver, Gilbert Oliver. It was spoken to Rena. You know, she yells it out during a when I was just drilling her on her ass. As far as verb was having a discussion that ended up being, I'm just telling the truth, you know, and she can't handle it. You can't handle the fucking truth. So then she wants to get loud and start screaming and shit, you know, and then even more so, and then to where she's screaming and she goes, and she goes, because I was just telling her like her mama was a witch, okay, and I was telling her that she even looks like one. Um, Everybody grows fucking hair on their face. The daughter grows hair on her face. She grew hair on her face. Her mom, you know, like I said, looked like a witch. I can, hi, and even a monkey, an even monkey, you know, and all of the things that was happening, I was pointing right back to her. And I told her, I said, hey, after all of this shit is done, even if I find out, and especially if I find out your mama has something to do with it, I'll come back after all y'all motherfuckers. Mama, sister, everybody. I told her. That's when she got really pissed off and shit. You know? She was defending Brian for wearing his Ohio State hat. Brian's a little nephew in the Air Force, the Force Air people. Little, little yellow bitch that went in. He went in and did whatever the fuck he had to do. You know what I'm saying? And been coasting, just like everybody does. Like, I got Verdella in the Army. She goes in Colorado. She's been coasting the whole way through, too. And we're blending this military in because it's just reality. It's just reality. Okay? And so what happens is we go ahead and we're arguing full force, flesh, screaming, at the top because I'm just I was there. And fucking she blurts out, "That's why your mama popped. That's why your mother popped." And I was like, "What? What the?" I didn't. I didn't hit her, but I did every motherfucking thing else verbally too. Okay, verbally too. I said it. Okay, and I went to go back and question Pop. I said, "What do you mean by pop?" You know? And she said, "That's why she popped, burst and everything, sepsis." All right. And so I really looked and I saw the evilness when she said this. I saw the evilness, not just the words or what was going on. I saw her the straight evil. Okay. And what else she said was this was the kicker right here. She said, I said, "So what else did she tell you inside the dream?" She says, because my mother had came to her in a dream. Now, Mama Tebi, Ethiopian, 3 doors down from Eugene in Fresno, who had hair on her face too. Same thing as her daughter, Mahalet, you know. And the hair comes in from doing so much damn witchcraft. Okay? That's where the hair comes in, and because you're really using your feminine, your empress, you're using that up. So therefore, it ends up hard, and then your masculine takes over. And we're going to get into that a little bit later there, of the yin and yang and things of, you know, the body and everything, physiology, pathology, and that type of shit. All right? But at this point in time, she fucking goes ahead and speaks upon that, my mom popped and everything, but she came to her in a dream. And so I said, well, what else did she tell you in the dream? She said you would see your father. You would see your father. Oh, he'll see him. You know. Well, he didn't say your father. She said you would see Eugene. He would see Eugene. You know. And so, and this blended in with Mami Wata. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the plausible current state of which his body is probably in right now. Because just like I was trying to go ahead and turn the TV off for her, uh, have her started eating a little bit better, and even slowing down while chewing the food. And that right there was where the psychology of it really was seen when I first started, and this was early in the whole marriage, when she had just had the double mastectomy, had cut off her breast, and then I guess was going to turn around and put them back in, with the breast implant stuff, but it didn't take to her body, and so she was left, you know, with one halfway in and one halfway, was dropped down here and a titty all over here, and this was flat because they couldn't, she was just left like that. So I I kind of felt for her as a female, with her body in that aspect and everything, and then on top of that, the weight, and which she had already had, that was there, and it's from just simply eating. And what happened was when she was eating one time and she was on the phone, and not on the phone, but she had just got off the phone and she was eating, and she wasn't swallowing her food, just swallowing it. And I looked at her and I said, hey, why don't you just swallow, chew your food before you swallow? I do. And when I said that to her, she looked and she just broke out crying. She looked and she just bawled. Red eyes, and it was deep. It was deep as fuck. And all I said was slow down and chew it. But like I said, it was so fucking deep. And what she said is, we always ate fast and everything because my father told us to shut up at the dinner table, no talking, and just eat. So this is where we're going. This is where we're going at. This is where we're going at. It's a lot of. When I get to a certain point right here, you'll see what I'm saying on the pathology and the psychology of different things with people. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch this thing over here to Eugene now. Okay, to Eugene. You know, and applying this right also to the plausible nature of that person who is up underneath all of these damn old ass bitches and shit. They don't necessarily want shit to motherfucking damn change. There's been, I guess, it's been a yang thing, you know, a yin thing. What I'm talking about, a yin thing. You know what I'm saying? And a yang thing ain't nothing but a thing, I guess. You know what I mean? Because they can have yin all night long, right? But even in yin, as we're sitting up here right now, yin on yin, and that's yin. You see what I'm saying? Yin, like lion. You know what I'm saying? Lion, yeah. Nyla, it ain't motherfucking Simba. It ain't Simba. It ain't Mufasa, and it sure the fuck ain't Scar. Okay. Oh, by the way, that was yesterday. No, Oscar, Joanne's husband, on the 6th. No, that was the 7th. He was on the 6th. Joanne was on the 5th. And Oscar was on the 6th. Okay. So then it was six. So 6-7, which is Union 76. All right. Union 76. That's the orangeman of the Irish people. Okay. or Orange tribe of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So to where we at here, what? The 8th, right? We're on the 8th day and everything right now. 6-8. That's the numerical value that they gave me for when I came into this place. For the flip side, to be the 86th, that of the Elohim, Vir, Vere, as the Varo, eagle, is that of Afrikaan, and multicolor also. So, and Vered, which means rose in Hebrew. So, all of those things is what she and Devira put into just a name, and that's the corporate name. So whatever, even is the corporate name, whether it be the corporate name or my real name, all those things mattered. And each date that everyone picked, everything matters. For it is the matter that keeps the iron hot. All right? So they pressing them right now on this iron and everything, as the iron shall not cleave to the clay, remember? But they cleaving and everything right now, even though Cleveland and Cleveland, oh wow. Matter of fact, it just blew me out the water right now too. Especially with when I went back there too, because what's her name? I'm good. Forget her name right now. Cousin. I want to say cousin It too. Cousin It was doing with the fucking. I call her cousin It because she had that same motherfucking wig from when I was 6 and 7 years old. She had the same fucking wig on. Okay? And we went over to, I can't think of her name right now, but she had a little Volkswagen with all the cars. I want to say Yvette, but it wasn't Yvette. But she looked the same exact too. Same exact. Why? Because they've been eating like a motherfucker. All them kids, they ain't been eating watermelon, pizza, hot dogs. They've been eating them up. And her top portion stayed in general okay, but her hips and fat, rolls and rolls and rolls of fat, just moving around, and then she moving around like she had a pretty fat ass. It wasn't pretty, it was just straight fat. With her license plate, I'm good, and she got the Corvette too. She got all the little shit from all the different people, the men and everything she knew. I'm pretty sure she'd have been in more than a few places, but again, it was like, ugh. And so these are the type of people that Eugene set up around, and probably it's up under right now. All right, probably it's up under right now. Up underneath who's pressing, and as Mommy Wata is saying, they really ain't giving a fuck. They really ain't giving a fuck. Okay, why? Because that's been the 432. It's 4327 right now. 432. It just went to 432. That's been the 432 hertz, in which hearts have been hurting at. That resonance, which they actually longing for, but they stay inside of the 808 area code. They like them. They just don't like the 432. Nothing natural. And it's affecting many parts of the body, many parts of their souls, many parts of their physiology. Okay? Everything. Even Eugene, the same thing that I was sitting up here explaining for trying to, like I say, just simply turn the TV off for Rena, and she would get back up and turn the motherfucker back on. Their whole family slept with the damn TV on, Seemingly, I know her mama did, she did, 4444 on the clock. I believe Andre did. I don't know about. I never slept over there with the daughter and everything, but I'm sure Makai did. All of them did. That TV is a mother. So they needed that shit. It's like a hook. It's like a hook. No peace whatsoever. Peace, even if they had peace, wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. Quietness, don't know what the fuck to do with it. Don't know what the fuck to do with it. You know. And so what happens is, this is what mi mama Rosa, prima Rosa, was also doing that for Eugene. Okay, and Eugene, and he should know. See that it was a double contract, a triple contract, really out on his ass. How does he know? How should he know this? For one, his VA shit wasn't going through. That's number one. Okay, even to miss the thing, which I told you, you know, she knew what date it was. Okay, all right, but that was on a personal. That was not by anybody else's motherfucking damn order of the day. The order of the day basically goes again back to your father, which is the VA. But which I just showed you one of the few times the where it says VA equals death, and it wasn't my words, man. It ain't my words, man. All right, where the VA equals fucking death, and this is exactly where you went up inside there, 4646, which actually means numerical value of body, the body. Went up there inside the VA, and they took one of your testicles and broke that motherfucker. So now you should know the VA really don't give a fuck about you, right? And will wait until your last days and everything to give you any fucking thing, and then you got to be fucking high up. What I mean by that, the Canley, okay, Canley down here, but it's spelled with L-I, okay, Canli. This is down here in Beverly Hills and everything. It's the same fucking thing, okay. Canley, Sheldon, fucking, what's her name? Uh, the big, the big bitch first, the older bitch first, Linda Canley. We're not even talking about Marlene, who you're fucking with. Not even talking about her. We're talking about Linda Canley, and then they switched it to the lay, because that's the L-I, okay? That's the Asian sense. So the lay is actually for meaning law, and that was the Canleys that you met up in Santa Barbara right now, and you was fucking with there, fucking. I guess Sheldon's mom, which was fucking, what was her name again? Forget her name right now. Uh, Marlene. Marlene. Even look at that. Marley. If you take the first syllable of her name and then the last syllable of her last name. Marley. It's the same thing as Bob Marley. Okay? Check it out. They just had the can lay. They was on, the people that got people to move the shit across the fucking, move the ship across the sea. Okay? Lay's law, which is UCC law. Okay? Which cords back to Canley, okay, the USMC Canley, who actually had the fucking ship named after him again, but only after he was fucking old as fuck did they fucking go ahead and name the ship after him. They didn't do it like a young MacArthur. No. So what the fuck do you think that was going to happen to you? So all of the bitches that you sent up around, that you went and grabbed Nisha and shit, and took all the motherfucking bitches, all of them, just sitting up there waiting for your ass to go ahead and helping you. They putting shit in your coffee. They putting shit every damn thing. Because you drank that 24-hour shit like was going. You don't give a fuck about none of your damn whole body. None. You just didn't give a fuck. You didn't think about nothing. And that's what Prima Rosa, mi mama, Prima Rosa was doing for your motherfucking ass. For your motherfucking ass. And That's the thanks she got. But that's okay because we signed up for a lot of shit. We signed up for a lot of shit. That people saying, "What in the fuck? How in the fuck? Why in the fuck? Who in the fuck?" People saying that shit right now, you know. And it's something. It's something when you go back and you think about those things. If you're to go back and think about those things, and even right now, like I say, the one thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch the subject matter. But one thing she did say to Rena, she said, "Oh, he's gonna see him. He's gonna see him. All right. He's gonna see him. He's gonna see him. All right. Let me get the. He's gonna see him. He's gonna see him. All right. So, give me 1 second. So, in the yin yang of things, okay. In the yin yang of things, as I was sitting up here trying to see everything, the power is in the blood. All right. The power is in the blood. This is our chi. All right. Power is in the blood. They know this. All right. And the chi blood. See, Rena, she would always say, "My feet are cold," and she got 20 blankets up on top. Okay. She has all kinds of different things going on, and I'm trying to even unplug, like I say, take the TV off. All kinds of different shit. All kinds of different shit. Different change of diet, walk. Walk with me. It's not my job to walk with you. That's your body. I have other shit to do. And so, what happens here, and this one, when I was saying, that the body fucking leaves, it changes, especially when you done pushed out all your feminine essence. I mean, you're positive. You have a positive yin. When you done pushed all that shit out, you ain't got nothing but a negative fucking yin. Even yang and yin both have positive and negative on each side. But when you done push all your motherfucking positive chi out on your yin side, that's what fucks you off. Okay? So you have an excess of yang, is what it is. All right? And it is manifested with heat. And excess of yin is manifested with cold. For example, if a person with excess yang will feel hot, and with one hot, and with one excess of yin will tend to always feel cold. All right? And that coldness, she actually had a restless quietness. Okay, a restless quietness about her. Insomnia, fidgeting. And this indicates the excess of yang. The excess of yang is going to do what? Give you motherfucking whiskers. That's what it's going to do. And it's going to be or it's a deficiency of yin. That's a deficiency of your own femininity. Okay? Any symptoms or signs of excess of wetness, such as watery eyes, runny nose, damp pimples, which she had on her body all the fucking time, skin, okay, hard, soft lumps, swellings, masses that are hard and usually due to excess of yang. Too much fucking masculine and shit. You see what I'm saying? Okay? The rapidity or slowness. If a person's movements are rapid, then he or she walks and talks fast. It may indicate excess of yang. Okay? If she walks and talks slowly, it may indicate excess of yin. All right? So, this also, like I said, it goes into the physiology and pathology of the whole psychological process, physiological process of the fucking body. All right? And it is actually, believe it or not, this is how you actually could have went in there and we would have been sitting down, even learning this shit together on different parts and everything, whether I'm talking to Eugene or any Oliver. Because, for example, the structure of the Oliver, the O liver, the Orange County liver, Oliver, is represented by the actual organ of the blood stored within it. And the Oliver has the function of storing blood. Another function of the Oliver is that of ensuring, remember, 55:55, where was Jesus crucified? On the Mount of Olives. Oliver. Okay? But we're looking not at the whole greens. We're looking right now pretty much at the pimiento. That's the main motherfucking thing inside of the olive. Oliver? Okay? And so by ensuring the smooth flow of chi, the Olivers also keeps the blood moving, therefore proceeding a correct storage of blood within itself. And an example of how the Oliver functions assists the Oliver structure. On the other hand, itself needs the nourishment of blood. Not somebody else's blood, just nourish your own motherfucking blood, cuz. All right. The mutual consuming of yin and yang. Yin and yang are in the constant state of change. So when one increases, the other is consumed. Not fucking literally within your own fucking body.
Hey, yo, bro. Do you know which way the protests are?
The protests?
Yeah, I want to go watch them.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I don't even know what the fucking protest is going on right now, but
You don't know about all the ICE protests?
Yeah, it's about the deportations.
The deportations, isn't it?
oh, they need to get a lot of motherfuckers up out of here. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No,
All right.
the protests, innit?
Protesting it. I mean, we're not saying we agree with the protesters. But
We just want to go see shit go down.
Oh,
We're not from here, so we don't have a stance on it. But like, we just want to go see what's going on.
where you from?
England.
From England.
Okay. Got you.
So
Yeah.
we don't really have a say in it. We just want to see what's
We just want to go
We're not
start
in
a
LA,
pop, maybe a
we're
little
not
bit.
gonna be in LA for a long time, you know what I mean? So we want to go and see some crazy shit happen.
Yeah.
More power to you, man. I stay away from myself, I got my own
Out
protests.
the way.
Fuck all that shit. But yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna scout around. Hopefully, find it.
All right. Have a good one.
Day, yeah.
You too.
Have a good
All
one.
right. All right. So, I guess people was looking for the protests, Anyways. I guess it was talking about immigration protest and all that shit. Yeah, that motherfuckers gotta get to fucking go. They're from England. I have a half-breed brother, and a Caucasian brother. Okay, so as we said here, the mutual consuming of yin and yang and everything. It leads into a lot of things in which, let me get here, the sequences of attacks come, the sequences of attacks and everything, go. And we have different, these, where are we at here? There's 5-element interrelationships, okay? So we're going to start off here with a generating sequence, and this is where we're at right now too. And this, like I said, plays into the pathology, it plays into the physiology, it plays into all of the shit, okay? And this 5-element of interrelationships starts off with a generating sequence, okay? So that's where we're even talking about even generational. All right? Generating, same word. Generator. God. G. Okay? Generating sequence, and then has comes to, and this is where everybody's at right now. They some controlling motherfuckers. Like we seen the period talk about, that's what he's protesting and even talking about. Controlling motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? You know, the one that came on over here, up underneath the alien and all that shit too, controlling. But that was brought over by the Hamites, which, believe it or not, listen to the word, listen to what it says. Under the controlling sequence, guess who is the author of this? Need Ham. Let me give you the section, okay? So the generating sequence, which is going to be water, fire, wood, metal, earth. Okay? That's the sequence. All right? And so the wood is what generates the fire, and the fire generates the earth, and the earth generates the metal, and the metal generates water, and the water generates wood. All right? And so this controlling sequence, the wood is going to be, it's going to be feeling like we come up out of the earth, just like these trees. We lived in the fucking trees before, it's just concrete shit. We lived all kinds of different, okay? So all of it, because the trees are so fucking big, for one. All right? Just go out off on a branch. We didn't have to climb up a tree to get anything. We just go out on the motherfucking branch and pick up our damn fruit if that's the case. Okay? And so the controlling sequence, the section that we're sitting over here talking about, I'm going to jump down to the bottom of it. It says the mutual generating and controlling relationships among the elements is a fine model of the many self-regulating balancing processes to be seen in nature and in the human body. Needham states this. Cites several interesting examples of which clearly illustrate the above principles. Principle figure number 17. Whoa, part 17. All right. And we're not going to go there. We're just going to keep on going right now. But I wanted to go ahead and point that out. And so basically, so the next comes now, so what happens, this was happening with everybody. Everybody, but they fucking actors. Every fucking body's actors, right? But they're over fucking acting. And that's the next sequence. So we have the generating sequence, the controlling sequence, and I have the over actor sequence. Oh, fucking whiners and shit. Fucking whiners. Make sure you go get your motherfucking ass some ice cream. With nuts, bitch. Over actors. Just in the whole fucking sequence. Over fucking actors. What'd he say? Oh, forget what he said today. Oh my goodness. So basically, the element of overacting controls another so that it causes it to decrease. This happens when the balance is broken and under the circumstances. The quantitative relationship among the elements breaks down so that at a particular time, one element is excessive in relation to the other one. All right? To return to so now, then we have after that, so first we got what? The generating sequence. Then we got the controlling sequence, right? Then we got the overacting motherfuckers, right? Now we got the insulting fucking sequence. This sequence is literally called the insulting in Chinese. It takes place in the reverse order than the controlling sequence. Thus, the wood insults the metal. The metal insults the fire insults the water insults the earth, and the earth insults the wood. All right, and I will give you that one. There we go. I'll give you that one. See that? All right. See all that? What did it say? The wood insults the water. And so, yeah, the wood insults the water. Never mind. I'm not going to go through there. I have them mixed up on a different. This is not the one. This is figure. Okay. So we're going over here. That's the point of it, though. Point of it. Yeah, that was a different sequence. My bad. I should have had that one ready. Okay, so point of it being, this is insulting. Thus, the first two sequences deal with the normal balance of the. Thus, the first two sequences deal with the normal balance among the elements, and the second two, the overacting and insulting one, deal with the abnormal relationships among the elements that take place when balance is broken. All right? And so, like I said, this applies to the physiology, the pathology. We're given the diagnosis. Verenia knows damn well what the fuck I'm talking about, because I was trying to do it for 9 fucking years. And Eugene Brown, the junior, you know what the fuck I'm talking about too. I've been doing that for what, 60 motherfucking years then, huh? Even as a child, I was reading some of the damn letters that I wrote to you when I was inside. I was giving you the motherfucking blues. That's the reason why that little pink letter had to come out with no day. You had that motherfucking, I'm not sure if you did it on purpose, put inside the box, and or / whatever, but everything that did happen with reason. So, because it is part of the physiology, the pathology, which is the diagnosis, and even the treatment of your dietary and herbal therapy. Now, that dietary is not just the food we take in. That dietary is the food we take in. We take it. Food we take in. The food we take in. The food you dip your stick in. The food you put on your tongue and lick. Foo-foo. Whether it be somebody's booty or whatever the thing is. Vava. All of that is dietary. And you can die from that shit right now. That's why the first words is called die. D-I-E. Okay? And then diet and, which is DNA, her, okay? Her. Baal. So who is Baal? It's a her. And who is her? Baal? It says dietary and herbal, the rapey. So again, this is going to be an excess of yang and yin deficiency amongst that of the fae, the women, and that was including that of the yang of the man, which we encompass both also. So if it is not balanced out within your own person, your own body, I'm not going to say person, because that right there is back into that legal shit. We're not no fucking nouns. All right, all lowercase. I'm talking all lowercase motherfuckers right here. You're a capitalist, get the fuck on out the kitchen. All right. So you can cook somewhere else. So all of these things right here affect all of this right here. Okay. All right. So even that of the yin organs is that going to be of the liver, the heart, your spleen, your lungs, your kidneys. All of those things that if anybody's fucking deficient at, it's gonna be problems. Your liver, we know it grows back, but if you're not fucking, it could be pushed down upon and everything by the weight on your body. Okay, therefore, then that can be pushed down on your kidney, and then what did I have? He had I had, and then we come on making, and what had happened was she used to sit on a toilet a lot. Okay, and so the water and everything would be dry. Okay, she wouldn't have enough water inside of her body to have a stool. So it would sit. She would sit on that toilet a lot. And I had it here. Let me give me 2.2 seconds. I think I might have it. I'll just go in right now on it right here. It goes. So the eyes pertain to wood and the oliver, the liver. Although it is true and important in a practice that the oliver moistens and nourishes the eyes, it is not the only organ that affects the eyes. Not every eye problem, and she had many fucking eye problems, is related to the oliver. For example, the kidney yin also moistens the eyes, and many chronic eye problems that are related to the kidneys. The heart also, uh, and eyes, Rachel means eyes. Wow, that's crazy. That's her middle name. The heart also reaches Rachel, the eyes. Her, eyes. She has some soft eyes inside there, via the connection of this ch Annie L, this Chanel. All right. Some acute eye problems, such as acute conjunctivitis, are often related to no organ, but simply due to exterior wind and heat. Many other channels related to the eyes, such as the lungs, small intestines, gallbladder, and triple burner. Now, that of the overacting, the 5-element relationships, the two of the possible sequences that apply to the pathological to pathological cases, these are the overacting and insulting. So motherfuckers that's overacting and insulting, you wonder what the fuck is going on with your body? That's what the fuck is going on. All right? The oliver overacts on the stomach and spleen. If the oliver chi stagnate and invades the stomach and impairing its function of rotting and ripening, and the spleen impairing the function of transforming and transportation, and particularly when the lead chi, when the liver chi invades the stomach, it prevents the stomach chi from descending, causing nausea, and it prevents the spleen chi from ascending, causing diarrhea. The heart overacts on the lungs. Heat and fire can dry up the lung fluid. Okay? Should be short of breath, all kinds of shit. And I'm sure this happened to you, Eugene. The spleen overacts on the kidneys, and when the spleen holds dampness, this can obstruct the kidney function of the transformation and excretion of fluids. So again, that's sitting up on the toilet. So this is when all that weight is on you, or you're too dry, all of that shit. And what's going to dry you out? Every time that coffee, Miss Coffee, dry her out. You know what I'm saying? He had a coffee every damn day, even when he got that 24-hour shit, to go ahead and just have some energy because you're drying out your whole fucking system. Okay? And I could keep going on. All right? The physiology trait of the gallbladder, which is actually This is the part of the lion that gives you courage. The gallbladder. You gotta have gall. You got gall, but if you ain't got no fucking gall, no butt, these weak motherfuckers. I'm just talking about on a mental. I'm not even talking about the physical part. I'm talking about on a. But it is the gallbladder controls capacity of making fucking decisions. Not so much the sense of being able to distinguish and evaluate what is right and wrong, but in the sense of having the courage, courage to act on the fucking decision. So not letting Nyla motherfucking damn pimp your ass to be either Mufasa, Mufasa is motherfucking a cow. Sorry, cow who said moo? The cow do. There ain't a motherfucking lion. The lion, motherfucking lion, right there. All right, Mufasa, Sa. So Mu and Sa at the end. That's Sa is feminine. Okay, so the capacity to even fucking understand that shit is motherfucking gone. So not so much the sense of being able to distinguish and evaluate the right and wrong, but in the sense of having courage, courage to make a fucking decision. Thus, it is said in Chinese medicine that the strong gallbladder makes one courageous. The psychological trait of the gallbladder influences the heart. The Tin Man. If they only had a heart. Okay. And thus the mind as housed in the heart needs the support of a strong drive and courage given by the fucking gallbladder, by a strong gallbladder. In this way, a deficient gallbladder can affect the mind of the heart. Now, the mind of the heart is not the biggest fucking mind. Because the heart is a pump. The biggest fucking mind is your gut. That's the biggest mind. That's the matter of fact. That's where the actual real heart shape is fucking set down by our sexual organ. That's the real heart shape. This up here is a pump, like this. It's just like this. But the heart shape is down by our sexual organ. Okay. So the gallbladder. Okay. So causing emotional weakness, Timmy. That's the reason why I didn't want her to name her Timmy. Because you get the word timid out of that shit. Fuck that timid shit. Fuck that fucking no courage. Lack of assertion. The heart. Now we're going to get the child and mother effect of it, okay? The heart child affecting the liver mother. If the heart is deficient, then it can lead to general deficiency of the blood, which will affect the liver storage of blood. This would cause scanty periods and amen, okay? Amenorrhea. It's like you have the foramen needles, okay? When you're actually doing this incontinence operation in that of the last place I worked at Exonics, you get this foramen needle. So Amen is running a lot of shit. Nima is running a lot of shit, I should say. See, Nima is feminine, all right? And I don't care if you switch one and whatever name I'm in is name whatever the fucking name you want to motherfucking go ahead and put on the shit. We're talking about the essence of everything. So if the heart blood is deficient, it can lead to general blood deficiency that will affect the oliver storage of blood. Thus, we cause scanty periods or amenorrhea. Okay, the heart mother affecting the spleen child. Now this right here reminded me of fucking Bridget coming to her mama saying, "Mama, I'm fucking going through it in mind. I get mad when people don't fucking agree with me and shit." But she didn't fucking handle that shit right. She didn't say. She said, go to the rapist. Go to a therapist, which is the rapist. So, bro, she tell her that shit. She don't want to handle it herself because she ain't went through the motherfucking shit. All right. So the heart mother affecting the spleen child. The mind of the heart needs to support the mental faculties of the capacity of concentration which belong to the spleen. But if her spleen is fucked, if your mama's spleen is fucked up, then she ain't gonna be able to help you because she fucked up. She ain't healthy. She's overweight, whether it be physically or either spiritually or mentally. All of it is one, all of it controls the chi. It's part of the chi. We're not just talking about the physiology of things right now. So another aspect of the relationship is the heart fire deficiency being unable to warm the spleen and leading to cold feelings and diarrhea. Now this is her again. My feet are cold. We got 20 motherfucking blankets. That's enough. I'm gonna shut this down. Let me shut this down at 120. Because I done gave my 120 on this right here. That's 120. That's after the 119 degrees, the 119 Psalms. Okay? And that's for the PS 1619 motherfuckers. They're still out here standing on these streets talking about alms. Okay? Alms and everything. You know, like palms. You know, like 29 palms. Okay? Military shit again of alif. Not aleph, but alif. And if it's an if at the end, then fucking that's some iffy shit. Okay? And at the EF, that's still part of roof. All of that shit. That shit is iffy. Right? Even the music clef. EF again. That, especially if we are not in the fucking right resonance. We're not in the fucking right hertz. All of it is iffy. It's not gonna fucking work. So, closing this one out. That's what I was saying as far as when I said vroom vroom past the moon, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. All right? And even though all of us have that of these yay, okay, the fluids that are inside of us. One second here. I have this last. One second. My apologies. Yeah. There's all of us, we have this jinn, which are the fluids. You know, who was that before? Soul Source Tarot. She used to say, time is fluid. Fluid is fluid. Fluid is what you put inside a fucking car. Okay? We're water. That's water. It's different. But we do have fluids. Matter of fact, I remember this one time with a Mary, with the M. Mariam over in fucking in Tanzania. Again, as I'm sitting up here breaking some of the shit out here to explain some shit to her, and she got a motherfucking cocky ass, bitch ass attitude, little plump bitch too. She was cool, but and I'm not gonna call her plump. She just a bitter ass Mariam. That's what Mariam means. Mary, fucking Mary, bitter. That's my Moriah. If that's my grandma, you know, on the brown side, Crutchfield. So these fluids, this is the jinn. This is the genesis. This is the jinn right there. Okay, jinn to make you sin and double in, you know, fluids. And then, so the liquids is yay. And this is Chinese. Liquids is yay and everything, you know what I'm saying? And the yay, you know, also translate as great gods also. At the same time, the yay is EY, we reverse, and the A and E was together before. So that's pretty much I. Okay, so that's the reason why people still go back to this I again. Okay, all right. And then the Jin is Nij, which is what well, I was gonna say ninja, but is Nij. Anyway, so these liquids and fluids and so forth. Again, Jin is fluids, and that of Ye is that of liquids. Liquids and fluids are two different things. You know, liquids could be, let's just say in the body and everything. Liquids could be liquids. I'm sorry, as I would put it, the blood would be like our fluids, and then the liquids would be Ye. That's the water. That would be the water. You know, and the water being the great God. You know, being that we are more high percentage of water, I would go with that Ye. And so therefore, as far as when speaking on that, explaining that, that's what I would do. You don't have to do what I would do. You know, you can go ahead and keep on saying time is fluid. Yeah. However you want to do you, you know? But anyways, that was a lot. Those ice walls that I was talking about, so I spiraled out, spiraled in and spiraled out, you know, a lot of things. And I don't know what you're going to do with your check, but don't spend it all in one place. And make sure you don't do like Nora, all right? Make sure you don't do like the island of Nora. And when you have a gang of fucking money coming in, and remember they got it from bird shit, all right? When you have a gang money come in, make sure that you go ahead and you divide that shit up. You stash them away. Don't eat all up on the ice cream, and don't think that one can keep on talking shit, and the shit is not gonna bite you in your motherfucking ass either. All right? So, and I'm not talking about on it to make it like feel good either. I'm not talking none of that shit at all. Whether it be that way or motherfucking that way. None of that shit. All right? So, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be fruitful and multiply. And again, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. It was a very soothing, absorbing reflections going on today. And it's always a very, very good, I say, with good intentions, at least for me, to go ahead and be able to pull the words together to express it and get it out. So therefore, those who are willing to receive whatever, and that's even myself, okay, can receive it. And for those who don't, fucking A, you can do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. You're going to do it anyway. And we'll just see what's going to happen. We'll just see what's going to happen, all right? All right. Y'all take care. Again, be fruitful and multiply, all right? Talk to you later.